that what it says? And I demand their firing. I demand their immediate firing, because your lack of action, when this has been brought to your attention, that someone wished the death upon others, and you're okay with this, and there are people that are upset about this, and you couldn't give a crap about this. That's what this says to people. And my tone of voice is not yours to monitor, ma'am. How many decibels I speak, you cannot ask me to leave. I will not play by your rules. I will not be silenced by you anymore. Okay? This LGBTQAI plus nonsense and people wishing death on us, the Christians. And you know what? This is what a guy named Destiny said. He said those people are so dangerous. Their ideology is so backwards, so primitive, so hateful, that we have absolutely no choice but to kill them first, because they are a threat to us. And you're pumping that shit into kids' heads. Your teachers are pumping that shit into kids' heads. And I demand it stop. I demand counseling for the kids that were hurt by Charlie Kirk's death that he dissed. He can have free speech. He just can't have a job on taxpayer money. You need to check yourself and correct yourself and get rid of him. It is the will of the people, and we are done with you with your rules. She won't even look at me. You're a foul and evil woman. You're a coward. Hey. Why don't you look at me? Hey! You want to talk to me?
That woman. Don't you insult that woman.
Why not?
Because she's doing the best she can, and you don't know what we think.
She's not doing the best she can.
You don't know what we think. We haven't even made a decision yet.
You should have made a decision when you found out. When did you know? When did you know?
On Friday, we're taking it. We're doing the best we can.
We're too slow. The world is moving on way too fast for you, old man. I'm serious.
We are in recess.
Can I have
There's 3 or 4 more public comment slots.
All of those in favor of adjournment, please signify.
You're not
Is
even
that what
gonna
it says?
Press charges.
See, that's the reality of things. That's the reality of things. And I'm so glad people finally see it. Not just people like us who are involved in this, but people who weren't, who were just trying to live their lives, are finally seeing the rot.
I've seen a good number of these kind of videos of parents coming to teachers' meetings and saying, let's get this nonsense out of the class. What's this got to do with history and science and math?
Yep.
And it falls to deaf ears. I mean, like, the staff there, clearly they were on the opposite side of that, clearly, and they usually are. It's heavily infected the educational system from start to finish.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm glad that he's doing it. God bless that man for standing up for what's right. That stuff has no business being in schools. It should be between the parents and the children. But the problem is that the state has been trying to get in between the parents and the children for a long time now. I mean, wasn't it Hillary Clinton that wrote a book that said it takes a village to raise a child? I mean, this is a ridiculous mindset. It's part of the mind virus, and it needs to go away once and for all.
Yeah,
That's the issue. That's the issue. You didn't see
I don't remember if I covered it or not, honestly, but yeah, there was a page about there's a bill they're trying to push in Alabama to take the LGBTQIA plus out of schools, and with any luck, it will pass. I mean, seriously, what does this have to do with education?
Yeah, I don't see it as any different than Christians wanting Christianity to be taught in schools. And how would that fly?
Yeah, well, I would claim as a person myself that wouldn't be right either. I think that see there's the issue. Why didn't you see this? Why did I see this? and no one did, that education was infiltrated so long ago. All are so worried about fucking series, movies, and fucking games nowadays. Now they notice
Well,
there was the fucking thing in
there's a lot of
education.
people saying put prayer back in school, which okay, there are people of different religions that's been in their family line that they're so I can understand is like either let it all or don't let any of it. I can understand that. But this woke, LGBT blah 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 cult is invasive species weaving into everything.
Yep.
I
And what
mean,
they're doing is no worse. I mean, we're talking about, I think some places are talking about silent private prayer should be allowed in school. Not praying out loud, but this mafia is preaching their gospel to children
It's
openly.
Yeah, it's worse than
no,
any
no, it's
religion.
worse than
It's
that.
more invasive.
It's more worse than that, even by a long shot. It is really, really bad. Um, for decades now, you will be in an education system that makes you divisive, weak, and distraught. Having real issues at the basic life and naturality at the same, because they teach you the other way. It
Yeah, I need to
really,
take a quick break.
really, really bad.
Yeah, I actually grew up slightly leaning on the to the left side of things, and this was before they started doing the immigration and the
I know,
LGBTQ and all this.
I
But
know.
I was about let a person be who and how they want to be. I was about I know this song makes me sound like a big old wussy, but I was about art and poetry, and yeah, I had a rough, dangerous side of my life too, but I never wanted that. I wanted a more peaceful way.
Yeah, I understand. When I was young, I always was on the left side because it felt right. It was the way of letting people be who they are, fairly so, which I still believe in, by the way. But yeah, it
So yeah,
changed too fast.
our speaking against this stuff, they take as we're hurting the youth. We're looking at it going, they're hurting the youth in the worst
They
possible way.
actually,
Okay, they're supposed to be the adults. They're supposed to be like, hey, you're too young to deal with this, so let me help you, let me guide you, not, chop your wang off and be like, oh, I'll fix
yeah,
you.
yeah.
I mean,
That's
they
that's
can't
that.
they can't drink, smoke, vote, drive, and they're pushing them to this, telling them this is the right way, and we'll support you all the way, and you're brave, and they're abusing these children.
No, it is actual mutilation. Okay. Um, there is the vasectomies, cutting the boobs of healthy females, and they will never be able to do the simple thing that is nature is feeding their child. They will not ever be able to do that. And of course, it is also nasty making guys chop their dicks off. It is sick in so many ways. I mean, gender dysphoria is a real mental sickness. I will not attack or
But
um
yeah, and not to
discourage,
mention
but it
that
is rare.
in this
And
age,
it
a good
was,
many children have autism,
yeah,
and
well,
yeah,
some children
manipulating them. I don't know
are
if that makes
okay,
it easier, but it just seems like they're preying that it makes it that much more worse. They're preying on children and children with autism.
Yeah, of course they are preying on children. When are you the most impressive and most I hate words at
Hey,
times.
welcome. Cancel this podcast.
Manipulative. What age are you at the most expressive or impressive? Whatever the words are, you will get fucked up if people teach you shit when you are a fucking child. That's
And
just
until 7, we operate on theta brainwaves mostly, which is basically you're just a sponge and input, no
Okay.
discernment.
Interesting, question to that is, do you think autism affects that?
it does.
Probably.
Of course it
I'm
does.
thinking maybe it's just a guess here. I'm not saying I know, but I think autism, maybe they stay more along that brainwave length for longer or
Do
possibly
you want?
permanently.
Do you want a funny fact? Do you want a funny fact? I learned a very funny fact.
Yeah, from
Here in
Cancel
Austria,
Project,
here in Austria,
Jace. Y-
there are like
Yep.
eight
Okay,
to
okay, let me
10.
read this. And
I'm
yep,
sorry.
they love to go after autistic because if you get them young and program them, it becomes next to impossible for them to alter their worldview. And he is absolutely right.
Yeah, of course he is.
Okay, no, go ahead and finish what you're saying.
I was saying about the autism. Okay. Well, there's a very much difference. When I was a child, I got like what 8 vaccinations. How many did you get?
I actually missed a lot of them, even though by law I wasn't supposed to, but I ended up missing some.
Yeah, yeah, okay, you will be maybe an exception because you are even older than me. But think about how many vaccinations a child gets born today or at least 10 years ago.
Okay, supposedly I have something here. It's about 7 minutes long, but I'll just play a little bit and you get the gist of it. Uh, where they found a link to mothers taking Tylenol and autism.
Right.
Oh, of course there will be.
To meet the president's challenge, I ordered HHS to launch an unprecedented all-agency effort to identify all causes of autism, including toxic and pharmaceutical exposures. President Trump's urging NIH, FDA, CDC, and CMS are turning over.
I know he's talking like a chipmunk, but I don't want
No,
to
no,
make people sit too
I
long.
respect
Every
his
stone to
mind.
identify the etiology of the autism epidemic and how patients and parents can prevent and reverse this alarming trend. We have broken down the traditional silos that have long separated these agencies, and we have fast-tracked research and guidance. Historically, NIH has focused almost solely on politically safe and entirely fruitless research about the genetic drivers of autism. And that would be like studying the genetic drivers of lung cancer without looking at cigarettes. And that's what NIH has been doing for 20 years. As a result, we don't have an answer to this critical question, despite the cataclysmic impact of the epidemic on our nation's children. We are now replacing the institutional culture of politicized science and corruption with evidence-based medicine. NIH research teams are currently testing multiple hypotheses with no area off limits. We promise transparency as we uncover the potential causes and treatments, and we will notify the public regularly of our progress. Today, we are announcing 2 important findings from our autism work that are vital for parents to know as they make these decisions. First, HHS will act on acetaminophen. The FDA is responding to clinical and laboratory studies that suggest
Acetaminophen is Tylenol.
a potential association between acetaminophen use during pregnancy and adverse neurodevelopmental outcomes, including later diagnosis for ADHD and autism. Scientists have proposed biological mechanisms linking prenatal acetaminophen exposure to altered brain development. We have also evaluated the contrary studies that show no association. Today, the FDA will issue a physician's notice about the risk of acetaminophen during pregnancy and begin the process to initiate a safety label change. HHS will launch a nationwide public service campaign to inform families and protect public health.
Okay, so we've got the gist of that. They're thinking Tylenol while pregnant causes the offspring to have autism.
Or contributes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
It is a factor. It is not a
Yeah.
necessity. It is not happening for sure, but it is a factor.
Well, the autism most definitely is happening, and we need to get to the bottom of it. It's like cancel this podcast. Jace, he says, by the way, I'm hearing there are already TikToks of retards chugging Tylenol to own Trump. What? You know, Tylenol is not something you can just take in and take in and take in.
It does terrible things to your liver. You take so much of that, you will destroy your liver.
Yeah, it also affects if you take too much your bones and your natural dealing with pain process.
Yeah.